Hello everyone, I am Psycho Images and Gaming, and today I'm doing another tutorial on Pokemon I think can be Dragon type. This time in Johto. If you look on the actual Dragon tier, you'll see Kingdra, the only Dragon type added in Generation 2, adding 2 at a time. Before we start off, I'd like to explain these tiers. Pokemon I think should have been Dragon type, Pokemon I think can pass for Dragon type, one that I think can barely pass for a Dragon type, Pokemon that I choose are, and now I'm thinking of it, are definitely not Dragon type. And I would like to actually start with Steelix, as not a Dragon type Pokemon. The reason why is because I put Onyxid barely a Dragon type tier in my last video, I did on this subject. And because you have to trade Onyx with a metal coat to get it to evolve into Steelix. So you see that if Onyx did have a Dragon type, I can see it being dropped so it can be Rock Steel, but why is Steelix ground Steel type? At that point, that just looks like a bunch of steel rocks. So if I also had to change Steelix's typing, I change it to a good Rock Steel type. Alright, but on to the actual tier list. We're starting off with Chikorita. I think this could barely pass as a Dragon type Pokemon. Before I start hearing people say, why are you putting these Pokemon? Why are you putting the Chikorita line in this? Just because they're dinosaurs, they aren't really that much Dragon types. I would like to argue that we got Tyrex. Wait, what? Basically, the Gen 6 T-Rex Pokemon. Tyrants, I think. There's 120. There's 1,025 Pokemon. Don't ask me to understand one name. But again, to me, not all prestige Dragon type Pokemon, unless they're not really good designs. I think they can barely pass for Dragon type. Now we have Bayleaf. I think they could pass for Dragon type. Meganium, yeah, again, could pass for Dragon type. Totodile. Yeah, you could pass that off as a Dragon type. Croconaw, yeah, I'd say the same for Alligator. I think barely a Dragon type, but yeah. Alright, now we have Dunsparce. Again, it had Stupid Evolution Generation 9. The Dunsparce. Yeah. I think that should have. I think it can at least pass for a Dragon type if you care someone that's never seen Pokemon before. You just ask them, what type do you think this is? Now, we have Slugma. Yeah, I honestly think that they could pass for a Dragon type. They don't really have that much good base stats, so yeah. I think they could pass for a Dragon type. Lucario, again, can pass for a Dragon type. Magby. The pre-evolution of Magmar, and in my last video I had Magmar, but again, because it's the first stage, and if it was Dragon type, yeah, I see it barely passing for a Dragon type. And now, we have the Larvitar line. And I do not know how these things are not Dragon type. Rock ground. Rock ground. Dark ground type. What? Yeah. Yeah, these things should have. No. Yeah, these things should have been Dragon type. I'd like to argue with another kaiju Pokemon, Baxcalibur. Its evolution line. That thing was full on dragon. But again, yeah. I don't really see Pupitar passing for a Dragon type because it's a cocoon and. Oh, I show it. I just realized that. Now, for my final argument, Lugia. This thing should not be flying psychic. I think it should always be water dragon. And at least, definitely water type. But I'm putting on barely can pass for a dragon type Pokemon. I was gonna argue Gligar, but again, I don't really see how that could be dragon type. I guess you could argue bug type because of how it has that scorpion like tail. But again, these are Pokemon that I think could pass for dragon types. Let me know what you think of this tier list. And tell me any Pokemon that you think I missed. I'm not arguing Ampharos as a dragon type because its evolution line represents sheep being sheared. A sheep before being sheared, during being sheared, and after being sheared. Ampharos is not going to be a dragon type.